Hi friends, good evening. So we are continuing our series basically on how to develop the leader within us. So till now what we have covered is the definition of leadership, that is influence. And then we have learned the tool 5 level of leadership through which we can increase our influence and we can ride over one level of leadership to other. Then we learned priorities. Priorities is basically key to leadership, and then we learned how we can define our priorities. Now we are covering character, and in the last session, we basically covered why character is important for leadership, and we basically touched the good character basically builds the trust. Then second is successful leader embrace 4 dimensions of the character. They are authenticity, self-management, humility, and courage. And now today we will cover basically the character makes you bigger from inside than outside, and then Jyoti would be covering how you can basically develop the person of character within you. Okay, so let us start with today's topic. Character makes you bigger from inside than outside. Uh, Recently I did my disc analysis. Disc analysis is basically invented in the Stanford University, where basically you do your personality analysis, and it gives you 3 type of personality. One, what you are in front of others, what you are under the stress, and what you really are. So, normally what I've seen, in fact, I've done this analysis for a lot of other people also, and I found key normally what you are in front of people, that is different from what you are in the stress and what you actually are. And normally what you actually are and how you behave in stress, they are almost congruent. Probably, some lines might go up and down. So if you see, we anyway have no different kind of personality depending upon different situation, and that is where we feel stress. If our all the 3 graphs are congruent, we don't have any stressful life. But the moment one graph is very different from the rest of the two, we get into a stressful life. Probably our professional graph is different, or the our graph when we face people is different from our actual self, or the way we behave during uh, stress. So that creates a lot of stress also, because in person or in people you are not basically behaving as per your own personality. So that basically creates a stress, and that is why a lot of people find their job is stressful, because they don't have that congruence. And that is exactly what happens in the leadership also, in the character also. Believe me, we what we achieve inwardly, what we have inside us, will always change our outer reality. And this has always been true. Character is built on inside before it's shown outside. So whatever we are inside, we would be no showing our character outside also. Hence, we should first start building character from inside us. All of us has 2 voices, internal and external. And believe me, which voice we listen to, which voice we pay attention to, that voice basically dominates. Now say if we have done something wrong, something unethical, something we have made some mistake, there is a voice which basically warns us, boss apne galat kiya hai, and we should have not done this actually. And if we listen that particular voice, then we can correct it. And when we correct it, we basically bring ourselves into a character equilibrium. Whereas outer voice is basically normally encourages us to appear bigger from outside, mostly at expense of our inner self, our inner values. It creates inconsistent disharmony inside us, because we are not what we are trying to show our outside. Remember the analogy I had given for the disc. The way we try to appear in people and the way we actually are, if they are not in congruence, then stress happens. That is why a lot of people basically, no, though they don't like to be in people, they pretend they are happy, they are enjoying the no, the relationships, and that somewhere creates a stress in the life. So that is what no. If you're something from inside, something from outside, that will always create a disharmony. A lot of time you feel like doing anything which is unethical, and also it beats self-image internally. Say whenever we have done something which is not right, which is unethical, no one knows, but at least we know, and that gives a beating to our self-image. Because we know we have done something unethical, we always have the fear we will get caught to it. And the outer voice, that may say something like, oh, what I say uh, and what I do are may not be the same thing, and it will never be the same thing. That is the way it is. Just keep it, the appearances basically. And that is not a good road to go down, and especially for leaders, because it breaks trust, it breaks the trust. And once as a leader you have broken the trust, your credibility goes down. And believe me, credibility is currency of leadership. With this, you are rich, and if you don't have credibility, believe me, you're broke, you're poor, and you will not have any follower. And if as a leader you don't have any follower, you are not a leader at all, you are just taking a walk. Nothing more than that. That is why we should always listen to our inner voice, which encourages the integrity, and to develop the character, and become uh, basically, when we listen the inner voice, it develops our character from inside. We become bigger from inside, and we have to deal our weaknesses also. We cannot hide our weakness, so we need to deal with it. We need to overcome it. And we must embrace failure and learn from it. A lot of people basically are afraid of failure. They don't understand कि boss, success basically brings the greatest failure in our life, that is the pride. Whereas failure brings the greatest success, that is learning and humility. And we must choose the better path forward. We cannot basically try to pretend कि I'm big, I know it all. We cannot survive with a lot of ego. We cannot survive with a lot of no, I know it all attitude. And that is what happens to us when we try to portray ourselves from outside, without developing ourselves from inside. Say in someone's WhatsApp status, I don't remember the name. I've I read somewhere, in fact, कि fake it till you make it. And believe me, I don't keep no, I don't even recommend that, because what you want to pretend, what you want to fake, uh, if you're faking something, believe me, today or tomorrow someone will know it. You lose your trust, you lose your credibility, and for a leader, that is a death basically. If you lose your credibility, so we should never fake around. We should never try to portray what we are not. And believe me, if we are different from outside and inside, we live a divided life, a split personality life. We pay a steep price when we live a divided life, because we feel fraudulent, we feel anxious of getting caught, or we feel depressed by the act where we are denying our selfhood. I mean, when we are not pretending what we are actually, we basically putting ourselves down, we are killing our self-image. We are basically saying कि I'm good for nothing as such. So we should never pretend to be someone else. Let's be ourselves. And if we want to be someone else, if we want to develop something in our so that, say today I'm at a situation where probably I don't like a lot of things inside me, and I want to be something for someone else, or I need to have different self as such. So let me grow that internally first. The moment I start growing it internally, it will obviously reflect externally. And you believe me, when we live this kind of dull life, people around us also have to pay the price. And basically, a fault line runs in the middle of our life, and whenever it cracks, uh, basically there becomes a separation between what we say and what we do. and then things get shaky. Things start falling apart. We lose everything, whatever we have gained as a leader. So, as a leader, if you want to change yourself first internally, and then basically you know it will automatically reflect outside. So, the result of developing the strong character on inside is self respect, which comes not from accomplishments or achievements, but it comes from making right choices. A self respect is basically produced not from external triumphs, it is produced by inner triumphs. When we are when we are at peace with ourselves, when we know what we wanted to be, we are, then probably no, we will be at peace. We will have a very high self image, and whatever we will talk, we'll talk with conviction. It will not be superficial as such. And believe me, if you focus only outside, you'll be neglecting the inside. However, if you focus inside, outside will always benefit. And whether we are a team member or a leader, character always counts. Believe me, when an egg is broken from outside, life is lost. And when it is broken from inside, it gives no a life take place, a life comes into the world. So that is what the difference between developing from inside and developing from outside. Outside, so you can never you develop, you can only pretend. And from inside, you basically you can develop. You need not to pretend. And whatever development you have done, it will basically show outside, and your character will come as very strong. So that was from my side. Now Jyoti will tell you how you can become a person, I mean how you can develop the person of character within you.
So,
So Jyoti, all yours.
yeah, thank you. So, hi everyone. So, till now we covered why character is important. Now, the question comes how we can develop a character. Person of character within ourselves. So for that we have to focus three main things. So the first quality on which we have to focus is embrace good values. So we have to think about our personal values and write it down. Whatever things we whatever values we know that it is good for ourselves, we should write it down somewhere. And we should know what is the non-negotiables. So non-negotiable values may be different from person to person. It's not necessary what is my non-negotiable values is same with Abhishek or same with anyone. So for me, for example, if for me the non-negotiable values are I don't want to uh, I don't want to disrespect anyone. I don't want any shortcut to success, and I want always my team put first rather than I put myself first. So that is some non-negotiable values for me. Maybe for you it can be different, so you have to choose accordingly, and you have to work on that. Then we should know what is our limits and which we should never cross. Here also it can be different from person to person. Say for example, I am working as a health coach, so my job is to suggest people to do what I am saying to do them for their health, good health benefit. So I set my limits that I go till the suggestion point. I never go to people to push anything that you must have to do this or that. My limit is only to suggest them. If it is up to the people, if they find I am adding any value to them, they will automatically follow me. I don't need to cross my limits. And if we already go through all the process identifying our values, non-negotiable limit, whatever we have write down previously, we have to evaluate it from time to time, that if there is any requirement of any change or anything we can add to it, or anything that can be removed from that list. So we have to work on that. And if we embrace good values, it will definitely build a strong character. Then the second step to build a strong character is practice self leadership. So in leadership, it is always said the first person we should lead is ourselves. So first we have to discipline ourselves, we have to lead ourselves. And also the essence of self leadership is doing a right thing even we don't want to do it. Okay, and not doing the wrong thing, not doing the wrong thing even if we don't, if we want to do it. So this is the essence of leadership. If we know what is right and what is wrong, we can definitely discipline ourselves to do whatever is right and whatever is wrong. And it also help us to manage our decisions. So when we know our values, so when we determine our values, we know what is right and wrong. So we know what we have to do and what we not to do. And in that process, if we face any difficult moment that comes, so it is our job to follow through the decision. Whatever we have made, we have to finish that thing. And also we must know about what we have to do to be in a better position to manage our decisions. So when we know all these things, we self we practice self leadership, it will definitely build our character very strong. And the last but not the least, the third step is value people. So if we want to be a good leader, uh, if we want to be a good leader, we need to put welfare of people first whom we are leading. And that requires the strong character, because without character we cannot put others first. Our motto should be, we should value other people, our focus should be on other people rather than be focusing on ourselves. We can't be selfish, we have to value people. And when we are doing all these things, this will build our character very strong. And we should always we should try to do good things to others, to express values to them, even if they are not doing the same thing with us. Either they do good things to us or not, either they adding value to us or not, but we should always do good for others. So it really help to build the strong character. So we also see there are many leaders who have the strong character. They have all the courage, the humility, the adding value to people's life and doing good to others. Like many examples are there, like Mahatma Gandhi is there, Mother Teresa, and so many. There are so many leaders with a strong character. So if we follow these three steps, we can develop a strong character inside us. And as the this is the character is the foundation of leadership. So we have to must follow all these steps to build a strong character. Rest.
So great. So believe me, no, every leader, see, it is not up to followers, it is up to leader to trust people. It is up to leader to develop a strong character for himself. Because followers do what they see, they don't do what they listen, they follow what they see. And if they find that there is incongruence between a leader's word and a leader's act, believe me, they will follow act, they will not follow word. So we need, so entire onus lies on a leader. That is why the leader's character is known as the foundation of his leadership. And I believe this, whatever we have talked, will help you in developing a good character. And believe me, there are people who are short-sighted. Short-sighted in the sense, people don't have vision. For small petty gains, they probably sacrifice the character. But believe me, if you are for a long haul, which I believe everyone you would be looking at, uh, you should never compromise with character. Believe me, you should never, because the moment you compromise with character, you lose trust. You lose trust, you have lost everything. Because nothing works like a speed of trust. If the trust is there, I'll give you a small example. I mean, I'll not name the company I was working for. There, in two different scenarios, I had two bosses. One boss was, he used to give me a phone, ki, Abhishek, you need to do this. And I used to do that. Tasks were established. The second boss, which came initially, I used to follow the same way, but suddenly once something went wrong, and he said, I never told you to do this. And believe me, don't take my word over the phone till I give you over the mail. That broke the trust. After that, no, the results got delayed, clients got irritated, we started losing businesses rather than gaining business. So trust is very important, and the onus of establishing the trust, maintaining the trust lies with leader. That was for today. Next time we will meet with something which, which is the ultimate test of leadership, and we will discuss that with you. That will be again in two parts, probably in three parts, and you will carry on this series till we cover all the 10 points. You are essential for developing yourself as a leader. So thanks a lot for watching us,
Thank
and
you so
we'll
much.
again meet next week. Thank you. Have a good night.